So, hi, my name is Andre. I signed Decolife. I'm a painter.
Decky, you got a show coming up.
Yeah.
Just tell me about the show first of all. I'm thinking it's your first show ever, the first solo.
Yes, this is the first show in London.
Right.
I had some other shows in Istanbul and in Brazil, in São Paulo. And here it took a while to happen. It's the country that I spent most of time since I left Brazil, my country. And yeah, this show has to be quite special for being the first. It's so many paintings that I've been working the past years, and they are full of histories that I really lived by myself, and it's personal.
So it's very much it's a bit of a journey, this show, isn't it? Because you've got pieces. Am I right to say from different years, and takes you right up to what you're doing right now? Is that right?
Yes, this sense of work in progress is the never ending. As my previous show was called Horizontal, it's very much the horizontal line that we can never reach. As much as we walk, the horizontal line keep moving. And this is basically is the same, but in a visual way. Is the work in progress is small piece of paper and how they become sculptures or mosaics or large canvas of work and connecting. And I actually personal myself, I give the same importance of them, because it's only one thing that is development and improvement.
So when we first met, I mean, I don't know what, sort of 2013, something like that. You'd just come in, to this country. You were painting. I saw some of your works on the street. I remember you were painting with a few people. Just tell me about that. First coming to the UK and sort of your experiences since then.
Yes, I passed a few other countries before coming to the UK. And most of the countries I was before, I was dealing with works on papers that I was trading, exchanging for food, for staying in hostel, or tickets for other countries, and just traveling as I was spending the past 2 years. And in the UK, it was the first place where I decided to buy back my spray cans that I was doing in São Paulo. And yes, I just discovered very quick about some graffiti areas that would be easier not getting in trouble, because I was sure if I would get in trouble, it would be deported straight away. So I went to some areas where I knew would be easier to paint. And yeah, there where I met Artista and Irony, and very quick I started painting side by side with them, and every time we could meet, we were meeting and doing very nice paintings. And then I just staying longer and longer, and I'm still here.
And that was the first time you painted on the street in the UK, just by meeting those guys. And since then, you've been quite prolific. You paint on the street.
Yes, I really enjoyed that much, and it was. It's not much I can describe in words. I could make a drawing about how I feel, but. Was so intense, much more intense than now, because now I feel more comfortable. Now is my home, is where I live, is where I travel, and I come back here. So at the time was something I was dealing as a period. I said I'm not going to stay here, so I need to do my most. But since I decided to stay, the things were not so intense as it was, trying to run against time or do as higher as I could, or larger, or the amount in quantity also, and meeting people in a rush, while now I'm more stable and just wanting to visit some place, come back home more safe, I would say, because it's my home now.
So one thing I know, I always thought about you is I remember when we met, it was a good while ago. It was, I think it was some market in Sclater Street in Shoreditch, and you had a real sort of solid array of different types of art styles. And here we are again, a good few years later, and you're starting to do mosaics, and you've got this sort of, amazing polystyrene mask next to us on the table. Yeah, very versatile artist. You like to try your hands at a lot of things, right?
Yes, I very much as a hard worker, I would say that just. I like this capability of creating by my own hands, and looking at them and reflect everything I've been through, looking back to what I have created. And I have been to many different type of situation, many different things that I would be wrong doing only one line of work with only one technique or kind of only element or a character. So this big diversity of paper, wood, mosaic, all type of media that I use, even digital also I have some that they all have something to do with what I have been through. So it's very much this unbalance that I have reflected on the work. So I'm not the same as I was 1 month ago. If I look 5 years back, is
So what you paint, what you create is linked to how you're feeling in a particular moment. Is that right?
yes, it's me. I cannot really distinguish what the person that is talking now with the one who is painting, or the one who is doing cutting tiles, or the one who is collecting wood in the rubbish in the back of the house from people and get in trouble, or doing graffiti also. So I try to unify only one thing, so they still come up as different visually, but for me this is me, and I I completely agree with them how they are. I don't really try to change or try to deny, say no, this is not me. So I work then confident that is something about the world I live in and about my own experience.
You know, one of the things that just behind you, you've got a pretty impressive library, and in that library, I mean, there's a couple of bookcases here, and there's books on, you know, art history, religion, science. There's all sorts of you know, really sort of interesting books. What is it about this literature that you've collected?
Yeah, nice that you say about science, art, and religion that I'm really interested in. And they have many books from the Middle Age that, while science, art, and religion was only one. And I like looking at back and see how they divided the branches that each one of them took. Of course, science won for the majority. But I like looking at them more as a source of information, and nothing gets anyone that knock on my door and try to tell me some theory or something that I have no base to stand on. I like to even to fight back some of the theories that people try to offer to me. Not to be easygoing in any type of this theory, because me as a creator, I like very much to know about other creators, that would be other artists, and I like to see the societies that were based in a system of creation of their own, that they became called God, that is in English. But I also like very much as seeing the Hebrew names of monotheism, also the Egyptian polytheism, and I try to not to compare them, to unify them and see what we have in similarity between the cultures. I'm fine with the distinguishing between each one, and I feel that the only thing they would have in common, I want them to have in common is the respect. While me, my way, your way, is very much London that I have here, my experience here, this diversity of culture that reflecting in also art, science, and religion, still not as one as it was in the past, but very much that diversity that they have, and the respect that one have for the other, celebrating their events, and the community that still are a bit divided, as we are here in North London, is more a Jewish area. So since I started here, I have more Jewish books.
So where you go, you collect the sort of you sort of immerse yourself in the sort of culture of the area. Is that sort of thing you find out about it? You want to?
Yeah, this is another thing. I don't know if I first see the area and the interest that I have. I try to find the area. Example, while I was in Spain, I would be interested in Rastafarian. So I don't know if I first found the community and then I decided to study about Rastafarian, or if first I was. So the same would apply here. I don't know if I was going deeper to the Torah and then I decided to move to North London, or if it was the other way around, but I don't really try to question myself that. I just do the best I can at the moment with the conditions I have, and then when I have better conditions, we do better. So we are building quite much, and I'm very happy also with these books to be able to learn in other languages. Also books that I would read in Portuguese that now I can read in English, where the original language that they were published, and see that the history was not very well told in the translations.
So tell me a bit about your style then. How would you describe it at the moment?
I consider myself a realistic painter. I don't, I accept people who can call abstract or figurative or this, but for me it's the reality I live in. And, it's pretty much real. It's not illusion, it's what I live, it's me. And of course, I cannot deny making reference to other artistic movements. So I like very much even now that I've been doing quite much of Brown, I like very much George Braque and the Cubist movement, that they would have representing many faces, many the profile, the ear in only one face, and they were painting the reality actually, the multiple side of view just developing from Cézanne. And I like this idea of one passing through the other, that is making reference, as you said, about style. I cannot give credit only to one painter, because this painter was giving credit to another one that we can go chronologically all the art history that will come back to human history and development of society and all these things. Also every aspect of science, art and religion through art. But I would like to say about Marc Chagall. I like very much. I've been a few times in going out researching only to see works from him. In Nice, there is a fantastic museum that when I was there, standing in front of some big paintings that I would question myself if why should I still paint? I was finding everything I would like, every quality I would like to have in my paintings is standing in front of big Miro paintings or Chagall, and keeping questioning. I said, I think I already found everything what I would like to achieve, or this, or Kandinsky also is the same thing. But very quick, I turn my back, I start getting back to my own things, and then I say, okay, we live in different times, we are talking about different things, we are different, everything is different, and I feel that responsibility that, and now. So, and then when I start painting at home, I start remembering what happened, and I would look at a painting and say, yes, I see this guy, this, and me, I became someone from the outside just watching this guy. I said, no, I need to have my own experience, let's go out to the street, make some history, and then I come back home paint. So this is normally how the creativity process works. Related to other artists is much about giving and receiving. This is what I call also the tree of life, is feeding all of us and passing from one to the other. Is always living. We go to Tate or National Gallery, that all the painters that are not the selected artists every 2 years, all of them are dead, but we don't walk there inside as a graveyard. We walk there seeing life, seeing all the artists very full alive, and the page they wrote in the art history book, the contribution they had to even society, and this sense of life that I enjoy looking at. Even here in North London also we have John Constable grave. From time to time also I like having a walk there, and there you see death, as I would see also Henri Matisse grave in South France recently. So there you see the final resting place. But when it's the museum, you see alive, you see life, you see fighting back. Even the art of contemporary artists, even if he died 100 years ago, he's still fighting artists that are living today.
Deco, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.